Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our Madden 22 Atlanta Falcons franchise. And season 1 has ended in disappointment. Definitely not the way we wanted it to go, but that's just how it happened to be. Um, we're going to kind of push through the playoffs here so we can get to the off season. And look at that, Super Bowl 56. The Kansas City Chiefs go back for a third time in a row and take out the Chicago Bears. Um, I guess not too surprising in that sense. Mahomes does get NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year award. Zach Wilson, Rookie of the Year. Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year. So, yeah, not a whole lot of awards to be won by us. We did make quite the push there at the end of the season, so I'm proud of the way the guys finished up strong. Um, got us into the playoffs and even got one playoff win on the road. Yeah, would like to have had two to at least make it to the title game for the conference, but just wasn't meant to be. So we have some things to look at as far as this offseason goes with current active players. Salary cap is going to be a major issue for us going forward. Matt Ryan is due, oh man, a buttload of money. All right, and I mean a buttload of money. Okay, so we we've got some issues in the sense of we don't have any real draft prospects, right? Because we did trade away Julio Jones and got nothing in return for him. Um, so looking at this is a mock draft that they have for us, the third one that they did. It does show us picking a quarterback. Now we are going to need a quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely don't want a quarterback that is, I guess you could say, that far down the line. Um, you know, that's just we got a lot of work to do. Now, seeing some guys retiring, Lee Smith retires. I mean, I wasn't going to re-sign him. He could have gone either way. It's either he retired or he played for someone else. He decides to retire, so no big loss to me at this point. Seeing some of these other guys retire though, I mean, I guess nothing really too shocking. Tom Brady didn't retire; he's still playing, bastard. Um, but he's still playing this one. I'm looking at these last chance guys. Cordero Patterson, that's one of those guys you start thinking, man, I could probably get him. Um, but right now, just nothing I really want to do for that at this point. I know I don't have any cap space to re-sign these guys, so move on with it. I need to be able to get to where I can trade my guys away, and that is free agency once this opens up. Now, we have our own prospects that we're looking at. We have our own way that we want to build this team, right? So we know since we lost Julio Jones last year, and honestly, at this point, I'm debating whether or not we're going to keep Calvin Ridley for the second year. If I can get more for him in a trade, you know what? Maybe I will. So we do start looking at some wide receivers. Let's see, if we get a quarterback and we make some of the right trades, can we not only get a quarterback, but can we also get his main target? Um, get his main target because we have guys like if we can get Ridley out, get a lot of good stuff for him, a lot of good picks, then we can actually get a premier receiver for cheap as a rookie. It's a gamble. Don't get me wrong. It is a major gamble, but hey, it's always possible. Caleb Jarrett, he is one of the QBs that we would be looking at. Now, he's projected as number 2 behind Alexander Peterson. Both of those guys are about the same. I mean, where you see some differences between them two is kind of in the scramble ability. That's really about it. On that, they're fairly even across. Now, Clyde Harrington, he has A, awareness, B, for his accuracy going deep. That's something that's pretty impressive to see out of a guy who's projected to be a late first, early second round pick. Um, he's someone that's a pretty good little ability to have. Your awareness at A and your deep accuracy at a B. So have to keep an eye on him as we go. I'm going to see what we can get as far as draft wise. Um, like I said, we're going to have to make some trades to get some picks. I mean, that's it. And one of the first people we're going to have to trade is going to have to be, taking a look at him, Matt Ryan. Cap hit $48.7 million. He's not my quarterback of the future. I need to get rid of him. Problem is, the cap hit is major. And I need to get a draft pick back that is going to make it worth it. Right? He's on my team for next year. I need to get something for him now, basically. That's when you start going through, start thinking, all right, what are we looking at as far as a draft pick? What do I need to see? Obviously, first round, but we need a top 5 pick. I cannot go with anything other than a top 5 pick if I'm going to trade him away. Now, granted, I understand it's not going to be just, oh, here's Ryan, give me your first round pick. That's not how it happens, so I understand that. I'm going to have to work some of the deal out to see about, what other draft picks will I have to lose? I got plenty on down the line. I got multiple second round picks, multiple third round picks. And I also like to mix that up going into the following season's draft. Right? So let's see about that offer. No, trade is declined. And that is going to be a tough one, getting a first round pick, the number 1 pick, actually. So we throw up a third rounder and we don't see much movement. Right? And this is kind of a problem here. I need the pick. Nothing I have to have it. So I'm looking at Matt Ryan, a third round, and then I throw in the next year's 4th round, and I actually see some movement going upward, but nowhere near what I wanted to, so I have a feeling no chance getting him at all. Now, Washington football team, they do have the number 2 pick in this year's draft. And let's take a look. The last pick we were given to Philly, it earns a yellow rating from the Washington football team, right? So let me change some things around here. Okay. Instead of I do put up this season's second round pick. They didn't go for that for the second and next year's 4th. So it's just going to be doing some fine tweaking. I try it with this year's second and next year's 3rd. And trade is declined. I hate it when that happens. That would be probably a worthy trade. I'm not sure. Me personally, I think it is. Matt Ryan really is not over the hill yet. He hasn't had any major injuries. So he's not over the hill. I could afford it. He's just not my guy for the future, right? So now on this last one, trade decline right there. You see we give up second round and a third round pick. Now I have multiple picks in each one of those rounds, but that plus Matt Ryan probably should have gotten us where we needed to go with it. So now I'm taking a look at what else can we give up to Washington to get this, and that's really what we need to try to do to work out some of these finer points on these trade deals. Is all right. So I think we hit our limit with the pick. So let's see what we can do if we feed them someone else that they may need. All right. So we throw in Michael Walker in there. He's a 69 overall. He's our 3rd middle linebacker. They are in need of a middle linebacker. So he actually has a surprising impact on it, being a 69 overall. So I go back through. I have Ryan Walker and 3rd round pick. Oh, it's almost there. It really is. I do debate. I go with my second. It's not my pick. And look at that trade decline. You've got to be kidding me. All right. I had 2 second-round picks, so I do throw one out just to kind of see. And I go back down and start looking at my teams again because Washington's not budging. All right, Detroit now. The number 3 pick coming up. Keep on, I haven't even signed my free agents yet. I'm just trying to get this trade done because I need cap space and the draft pick also. Let's face it. So I make kind of a bold assumption that Detroit was not going to sway. New Orleans, I'm not trading anything with them. Okay, I really just will never do that. So kind of the way it goes. I keep looking around for teams because we were not getting anything really that was going to go our way. I think we gave up. We put in some very good offers. Right? Some very good offers. And it just didn't come through. Now, the Eagles, I come back around to them. And this time I throw in 1 second-round pick from this year. And I go to a second-round pick for the next season. So 2 second-rounders along with Matt Ryan give me the number 1 pick in the draft. Round 1, pick number 1, give it to me. And they decline it. See, they're just never going to give that away. Now, I decided to surprise. Let's go with Matt Ryan in our first round for your first round. That actually hovered right where it was. So I think if I add in just one of these later picks for not this season, but the next season, that might tip the scales. Oh, my goodness. It's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, I am trading away Matt Ryan before the end of the danged episode. So now we come back to Washington. We give them that offer, and they accept it. So now we have got the number 2 pick in the draft. And look at that. We went from negative $900K to $5.21 million. That's not all we're going to do. We have a lot of cap space to clear out, right? Grady Jarrett, $23.8 million. He's age 29. I'm not sure how many more good years he has left. I think if we can get the right picks for him, let's go ahead and get the value for him in the long run that we need to here. So now we do try to get in a second first round top 10 pick. Basically, we have Grady Jarrett up there to the Giants with the 3rd round, and they are going to decline it for their number 10 pick in the draft. And I don't know how far I really want to push that with him, so I don't go too far out there with it. And it's kind of just seeing who's where and what their team needs are. That is one of the things that I am looking at right now. And it's always one of the harder things to pick. You know, you think Grady Jarrett, he's an 88 overall. He's a X factor. You think he'd be easy to get rid of. Anybody would really be willing to get him out of there. Not totally the case with all these teams. And I get it. Like the Lions' first round pick, that is the number 3 pick that they have. Now Calvin Ridley, 79 overall receiver, or he's an 80 overall. They don't accept Russell Gage, who we do put up at 79 overall. You got Calvin Ridley there at 94. He's an $11.1 million cap hit. I'm trying to keep some of the main part of my attacking offense together, which is why I put Gage there instead of Ridley. But, man, it's one of those things, you know, working on this trade to get that high of a pick, I'm going to have to make a sacrifice. And Calvin Ridley, 27 years old, one of the better receivers on our team. I think, you know, Russell Gage has got speed. We've got a lot of actual speed on this roster. And I think we can do something with those players that we have. So we do trade away Ridley. Now, Grady Jarrett and Ridley both traded. We did get the first round pick from the Lions, right? So we got pick number 2, pick number 3. We got a bunch of them. And we did clear up some space. You see down the bottom left right there, we have $33.8 million. We came into this offseason period at about 900K under where we could be. And so we've done a pretty good chunk. Now, there's something I want to look at here, and that's as far as our middle linebackers go. Dion Jones, he has an excessive paycheck at $18.1 million. Man, he's age 27. He's right there. He's at the prime, and I don't want to trade him away, right? You don't want to do that right now. And so I do debate it. Don't get me wrong. Right? I think long and hard about it. But we got $33 million to play around with. Let's finish this stuff off first before we worry about all of that. Now, I know I'm going to draft a quarterback, but at the same time, I need a veteran there to fill in for just in case, right? All I've got is Felipe Franks, second year, what have you. So Marcus Mariota, I do see he's a free agent. So his overall is about 70 overall, but he should come fairly cheap. He's 28 with his age. He's got decent stats, but nothing all that great. And so I do put in an offer for him. I didn't see anybody else bidding. So hopefully, as long as no one else does, we'll maintain a pretty good spot. And actually be able to pick him up, which I think will help solidify us some. I like having 3 quarterbacks, fold Felipe into the practice squad, draft my starter, or even let Mariota start depending on where my draftee's at. And that's what I think a lot of it should depend on is where does he come out at? What is his rating? If he's a better player, we're going to put him in. If Mariota's a better player, we're going to put him in. So we'll have to see kind of how that all surfaces out. Now, as far as some other free agents that we're looking at, I do I put my eyeball on the defensive side of the ball here. Now, we're looking at the right ends. And kind of who do we have available? Look at some of these guys age-wise. That's really what I like to focus on, right? Like, look at here. Josh Sweat, 25 years old. Okay, so I can give him a decent contract and get him on our team. We'll have him for the prime of his physical career right there. For about 4 years, he's 29. Then you'll start to see that kind of degradation over time happen to him, especially the way Madden works. You know what I mean? We'll see that happen, and we'll be able to move on with him. Or even right at the end, trade him away. Get a lot of good capital back. A lot of big return on investment, you know. And so that's kind of what I like to look at as far as free agent signings go, because I don't want to have to build my team around a free agent. I just don't think you ever want to do that. But if I can add a couple little pieces to assist with the overall development of the team, hey, more power to myself. I'll do that definitely, for sure. And looking at offensive tackles, I've got a good Jake Matthews is good left tackle. He's an 81 overall, big feller. But I think backups can be quite versatile at times, right? So, offer Cam Robinson. Let me just see what he said. 92 total points. That does put us at the front as a front runner for Cam Robinson, 26 years old. Got a lot of years. I don't think he's definitely a starter, but he is definitely a backup. We'll say that. All right. So we'll kind of see how that turned out. Now we're going to move forward just a little bit to look at the newest mock draft that has come out. The final mock draft, the 5th and final one. They have us getting Caleb Jarrett, A, awareness, B, deep accuracy, A, throw under pressure, and A, throw on the run. That is awesome to see. That is an excellent little feature to have right there, that young man. But then for some reason their mock draft says I'm going to pick another quarterback. After I draft Caleb Jarrett, which I don't know where they get that idea, but hey, more power to this game. I do take a look at Alexander Peterson. Let me just see what he's got available. I don't think Philly's going to let him slide, though. I'm not sure what their needs are as a team, but if they have the number one pick, odds are they probably need a quarterback. Um, so I have a feeling they're probably going to snatch him up because he is technically rated above Caleb Jarrett. So we'll have to kind of see how that does work out for us. All right, so let's go ahead and get advancing to the draft. Let's get this bad boy a moving. All right. Start drafting. Come on. Start the NFL draft. Here we go. Start drafting. And we are away now. Philly's got the first round, the number one pick of them all. So see, we do first show the first 5 picks. So this is who Philly has available and who they're looking at. This is just from our draft board perspective. Peterson and Jarrett both highly rated up there. But look at that. Eric Peters is rated as the number one player prospect that we have. So I don't know. We need to take a look at everything that is available, right? We have number 2 and 3 as far as our first round picks. So let's give it the focus that this pick deserves. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and do that. So they will pick up Alexander Peterson, the Philadelphia Eagles do, and I guess you should have seen that coming. So with that in mind, here the number 2 pick. Man, Eric Peters is tempting. I could get him and Caleb Jarrett. I can still get them either way, no matter who I pick, because I have the 3rd pick in the draft. But I don't want my quarterback to trip and fall over something, or have a waiter trip and fall and smack him upside the head with like a tray of glasses and all this crap. So I'm going to go ahead and we are going to draft Caleb Jarrett with the number 2 pick. And he is a hidden development. Not sure what he's going to be at. We should find out soon enough because he is going to be our starting quarterback. Now, that leads us to our 3rd pick, our very next one. We do need help on the offensive line, but I also need a receiver, right? So we have the 3rd pick, and then we have 2 in the 2nd round, and so forth. And I don't know how many of these guys would actually be able to drop all the way down. I just don't really see that happening. We got a good number of receivers available, but I want to see Eric Peters in a 4.43. He's not very speedy, right? But he's got a good vertical, a good broad jump. He's a short B. His short route is a B, medium route's an A, release is a B. He's got a lot of good features that you like seeing out of a wide receiver. And so now we're going to take a look and see who else we have, because we have some other need spots on the defensive end outside of this, maybe linebacker spots. We also have defensive back positioning that we need to take a look at. So a lot of areas we have to review, especially on this defensive side. Front 7, back 4, which do you really want to go first? And so I take a look at Austin Battles. He is a outside linebacker, projected as a 1st round pick. Looking at his skills, everything matched up. So we do select him, and look at that. He is going to be a hidden development player for us. Acceleration at 87. He should have great coverage skills, and I can't wait to utilize him on our defense. That was a hell of a pick by us. Now we are going to finish out the top 5 as Eric Peters goes to New Orleans. They draft him with the 4th pick. And then the Eagles with pick number 5 pick up Mitchell Zimmerman, the right guard out of Oklahoma. So not too bad of a for them. They got a quarterback and a lineman. We went quarterback and linebacker. So now we're going to just advance forward to only our picks. So here we have the 13th pick in round number 2, taking a look at who's available, along with who we've actually scouted a decent number. That's one little minor problem with their scouting update is I think scouts have a lot more information on players that they don't make a major focus than what this game kind of provides. And you could find that out real easy, right? You should be able to switch your scouting desires week by week. I would say instead of, oh, let's make them all regional. Put this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. No. Just you can do that and that's fine, but have focus scouting like each week. Take a look at some players, from all positions. So I'm just saying the way they've done it this first go around is a good attempt, but it definitely has some room for improvement. I guess that's one good thing with them releasing the college football game in 2 years instead of next year, is it gives them that time to improve. Are they going to improve it? No, they're not. I'm telling you, this will be the same type of crap in Madden next year, and you won't see much improvement. They'll switch something around. It won't be the interface. They don't do that, but it'll be something else. It'll be a small little change, but hey, it is what it is. Now here in round number 2, pick number 13, I've got 2 picks this round. So I don't want to waste it. If I can get someone who is a first round talent with this pick, then I think that's something that really has to be looked at and reviewed for something we should go for, And some of these receivers that we have been scouted 59%. A lot of them, some have some surprising skill ability. Short route B for Keelan Collins. Injuries a C, which is it's not as high as I normally like it to be. I prefer it be a B starting out, or definitely an A. But hey, a C, I'll take it. A lot of guys are D's when they start out. Stamina D, stiff arm F, deep route C. Thaddeus Ellison doesn't offer as much as a receiver with what we know about him, right? And that's all. That just depends on what we know about him. Is he doesn't have a whole lot of what I'm truly looking for, and that's where this problems come in at. Is where do we go from here? Now, Joe Hilton, I'm gonna go defensive side. I think anybody who's followed my series with Madden, I like to build around the solid defense. And so take a look at Joe Hilton. He's got some good stats right there. And that's something that I do want to look for is some guys that have some of those abilities. And so we do draft Hilton, and he comes out to be another hidden development. That is 3 of these guys with our first 4 picks. Okay, wait. No, that's just my 3rd pick. I'm 3 for 3. I even miscounted myself. I'm 3 for 3, batting 1,000 on this. Now, here comes our 2nd pick, our 4th pick of the draft. Our first 3 X were hidden development trait. Let's see what can we get right here with our pick number 4. At some point, I know we got some guys as far as free agency goes. I do have to start building that offensive line. At some point, is Junior Mentor the one I need to start going with? I don't know. His ratings tend to be a lot higher for where you see some tackles at. But, we do have him scouted 75%. His awareness is a C and pass blocking is a B. So I do like seeing pass block as a B, especially for being a left tackle. And we're going to need someone to take over for Jake Matthews eventually. So I really have quarrels with doing it, though. He keeps making me want to draft him, and so we finally do. I mean, he comes in 6'4", 314 pounds, normal development. Acceleration is an 83, and strength starts out at an 89. So I do like to see that. I think he's definitely got the strength that we are looking for as far as our draft picks go. So now we advance up to week number 3, or round 3. So let's take a look. If I can get something that says like, hey, second round picks and stuff, then that's generally what I'll trade for. I'm not really going to trade for a third round for a third round. You know what I mean? Just not going to do it. If I have a fourth round and I can trade for a third, yeah, I'll do that. Fourth or fifth for a fourth, sixth for all that. I'll just see what I can do as far as that comes, especially when you get down to the back half of the draft. You know, a lot of these guys you haven't really scouted all that heavily. They're not truly on your want list, so you kind of just stick with what's available right there to you. Now, round 3, pick number 25. I don't want to say we're there, but we're definitely on the verge of it with everybody that we've scouted. Okay, knowing what our team is built up, we draft Jarrett. We still have Russell Gage in a receiver spot. We might need a look to bring in a couple more once we see who's been cut from teams, who's a free agent still. See if we can't get in a couple of veteran guys, maybe help add some speed on and stuff like that. But I think we've got a pretty good base as far as the offense goes. Mike Davis as our running back, Jarrett as a quarterback, Gage as our primary receiver. We're starting to build on the defense now. We did trade away Grady Jarrett. I get that, but we're building around a core with our linebackers. That's good to see. We just picked up a right end there. He's got 86 acceleration, 82 speed, 84 agility. That is going to play really well with his finesse move capability. 84 agility, 86 acceleration, coming off the line, getting to the backfield rapidly. That's the type of players we're looking for, and Aaron Conrad there helps us out with our pick there in the third round. Now, we do have another pick in the third round, just 2 picks later, with number 27, round 3, pick number 27. And this is something that, gets to be, I guess, kind of tedious of this process. I don't want to just simulate out the rest of the draft, obviously. But once we get to this, like I said, a lot of our main players have already been drafted. A lot of the main ones that we wanted, either we got or they were picked up by someone else. Now, we're kind of doing some filler spots. Maybe we hit it with one of these young guys. Like Mr. Lloyd Callahan, second or third round pick. We're in the back half of the third round. I mean, he may not be too bad. Now, you also have some dudes like Brendan Nelson coming in. He's an outside linebacker, decent speed, 4.7, but his awareness is a C, catching is an A, and block shedding is a B. Those are 3 stat numbers, or I guess letters, that you really like to see correlate into those spots. And that could help. We also have Cole Billups, another outside linebacker, projected 3 or 4. Now, taking a look at him and look at his numbers from his college pro day. Right, some of these show to be pretty top. In man coverage, he's an A. Pursuit is a B. Hit power, C. Block shedding, C. This kid's got a lot of talent right here. And like I said, some of those things, some of his ratings, if you see him, were from the top 5. And look at that. We do pick him up here at the bottom of the third round, and we've got ourselves a 4th. Our 4th, ladies and gentlemen, hidden development trait player. And he came in the 27th pick of the third round. Okay, the third round. We got him, number 4, right there. What a pick by us. I got to give myself credit. That little pat on my back, I shall say so myself. You know what I mean? So round number 4, not even really looking at trading this one away. Some guys, some Shaden Whitfield here coming in. He's got some pretty good stats if you look at him as far as his 3-cone drill being the number 1 rated corner and his vertical jump with 37-inch vertical is number 1. Block shedding is an A. Injury is a B. Tackling is a B as well. So we don't have enough to see what his coverage ability is. But I think he's actually got a decent enough number. I think we should probably at least give him a shot. I don't know how far he could end up on our depth chart, but we do go ahead and draft him and see what he can do. 93 acceleration, 88 jumping, 91 speed. I love seeing that. Change of directions, 87. I think he can actually have big time impact for us in the long run. Maybe not immediately, but get him developed up some. Definitely could have a shot or something going on for him in the future, for sure. Taking a look as we come into our 5th round, like I said, I normally start trading some of these types of picks away to get a better one. And see, that was Green Bay is giving me a 4th round for a 5th. Obviously, I'm going to take that. So we'll move on to the next user pick, round number 6. Let's take a look at some of these trade offers. All for just round number 6 picks. I don't see much of a point giving that away. I got to take a look at what players there are. Maybe we have nothing. Maybe we have something. Lloyd Callahan is still hanging out there. I do decide to ignore him this time as we take a look at some of these other guys that we have. Looking on down the line, maybe hoping find a gym or something down here, but I don't know. Oh, look, Darrell Brown came up, and he showed some improvement. Eric Waller, same thing. I think we have an idea of what we want, and some of these guys just aren't there. Now, taking a look at tight ends, we do have Kyle Pitts, so don't be mistaken. I'm not looking to release him. Just maybe try to build up some depth there in the tight end spot, right? Now, Spencer Tate's got pretty good ratings, but his catch and traffic is a D. His deep routes an F. Yeah, you're going to be a backup tight end, but you're going to be in on multiple formations, and sometimes you may be asked to catch the ball. So I need a tight end that can do more than what they've been giving me. So I keep focus on the offensive line. And taking a look here at Larry Winston, a right guard. He's got pretty good blocking and good injury. So we do go ahead and draft him. 6th round is not something that I really stress about. But I do think he can add some depth for us. His ratings weren't all that great. However, his letter grades were pretty decent. I think we can all agree right there. So coming up here into round number 7, taking a look here, our final pick, nothing worth trading. So let's see, who do we pick up? Who is going to be our Mr. Irrelevant? We go right back to the tight ends, Tito Jaramillo. And look, he's got pretty decent ratings, top 10 for the most part in his timing stat-wise. Not the greatest ratings here. Carrying a D. Pass block is a C, though. So that's something to keep in mind for us. Yeah, I need to take a look. Let me see if there's anything else. I just don't want to regret something, as far as someone that I could have had. That's what I hate about this last pick, is it seems halfway useless. I don't know how many times have you ever had your 7th round pick become, your Tom Brady. It really never happens. So instead of the tight end, I start looking at cornerback. But I can't help it. I'm too tempted. I have to get a tight end, I think. I need to provide Pitts that backup. We only have Kyle Pitts. He's our one and only active tight end. I need to add someone else. I don't think I want to wait for free agency in the start of the preseason. So I do draft Jaramillo, and not bad. 87 acceleration, 76 speed. So it's actually better than what I thought he would turn out as our 7th round pick. Now we're taking a look at some of the replays that we have here from the preseason. We're not going to display that too much. Really before the start, this is some of the plays that Jarrett made working in with the starters and all of that. Taking a look at some plays on defense. We did play the standard preseason schedule. Tennessee, Buffalo was mixed in, and I think Baltimore. So you'll see highlights here from Tennessee and then also from the Buffalo game. And this is what Jarrett offers us. That type of throw right there. That's what I look for from him. On those deeper routes is his ability to get the ball there. Now, in the preseason, I took a lot of risk. He threw multiple interceptions, but making unnecessary risks, that'll happen. I have to test his capabilities. Might as well do it when it doesn't count. You know what I mean? And so that's why we throw that one up and going up to get it. Tajay Sharp. He's someone else that we had from last year. We kept, and he came on late last season. But I think this season since we did trade away Calvin Ridley, he's got a good chance to make a name for himself and to start to step up and to be a good leader and a team player for us. So take a look at some of these final stats. While we do review those, I do just want to remind you all to hit the subscribe button if you have not hit it already. And if you did like today's video, then go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And because it really does help out the channel. We greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us. Let me know what you think of the drafts, who you got as some of the upcoming star players on this team, and where you think we can go, and kind of maybe if we miss something. If y'all think we should start looking in free agency or for the draft for next season in a certain area, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, let's get these things finished. This is a game against Buffalo. Things got out of hand pretty quick to start, so they did get a healthy lead on us. That throw right there looks like was that Mariota that made that throw? Yeah, he was our backup, so they all got pretty good playing time, him and Felipe Franks. As you see, Franks is stepping in right here. I'm going to go back to the Tennessee game as we have a 12-point lead. Franks actually puts on a good throw to Jaramillo, our 7th-round pick. It was one of the few good throws that Felipe Franks could do. He did not have very many going forward, so he'll probably be practice squad, is what I would say about that. You know what I mean. So, yeah, I mean, looking at it, our offensive line, these are the backups that are playing right now, so I don't stress too much about it. I really am going to go this season hoping none of our starters get injured because we are going to have some serious issues if they are. But with all that being said, I think they got potential to do some things, maybe. I don't know. And that's really always just going to be the biggest question is can our defense hold up? Our offense, I think, is pretty well set. I really do. Our offense, we got a good feel right there. Defense, losing Grady Jarrett. It's going to be hard to make up. But Dion Jones in the middle, along with Agent O in the middle. Now we got Billups coming off one side, Austin Battles coming off the other. We got some big potential to make serious things happen on both sides of the ball. Defensive line, picking up Sheffield as a free agent was a good pick. He got that interception there earlier that you saw on a highlight just a minute ago. But seeing some of our other rookies come through like Battle and everybody, it's always excellent to see that. So that will be it for our off season, and I will see y'all in the next episode where we start season number 2. We will be facing off against the Panthers at home on a 7 p.m. night game to kick off the new season. So I will see y'all then, everybody. As always, stay safe, and well, take a look here. Austin Battles, he's getting asked about in the press. Has continued to build on this preseason for the most football IQ. All right, everybody. I'll check y'all in the next one. Stay safe, and well, as y'all know how it goes by now, later, y'all.